Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jerry Cooey.
I'm Deborah Nelson.
And once again, you found us Mediacom Channel 27, Saturday, every Saturday, 4:30 to 5. We talked about it a little bit last show, Deborah, but we have renewed our contract. So those of you who love us will get to see us for another 52 shows, and those of you who don't love us will get to see us for another 52 shows. So it works out.
Everybody wins.
I'm reminded of the movie about Howard Stern. And the guy comes running in there and he says, well, what does the survey say? He says, well, the people that love Howard Stern listen to him for an hour and a half every day. Well, why do they listen to him? Because they want to hear what he's got to say. And he goes, well, what about the people who don't like him? So, well, they average listening to him 3 hours a day. Well, how can that be? He goes, they want to tune in to see what he might say. So for all of you that like our show, we get a lot of good comments, and we appreciate it. It is about entertainment. It is plenty of factual stuff. We want to do a show that you can enjoy and learn along the way. And for those of you who don't like the show, well, thank you for continuing to tune in, because we know you watch it anyhow.
It's your opinion that it's factual, so I just need to interject that.
Well, I think we've gone over a few emails that are pretty factual.
In our opinion. Just a disclaimer.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's budget season again, and Deborah, I want to let me stop just a moment.
Some people look forward to Christmas, but for you, it's budget season. It
Well,
starts in about April.
It starts in April, and that was the point I wanted to make before we get started. I do not understand. We have well-paid department heads. We have well-paid elected officials. And for the life of me, I do not understand why we go from April until October every year of kicking the budget ball around. To me, it's very simple. The money is authorized by the Board of County Commissioners. And ladies and gentlemen, I've actually said this, not to this 5 commissioners we have now, but the previous 5. All the money comes to the county commissioners. It is theirs to hand out. They're the ones that have to sign off on it. And my thoughts is come in, lay your budget down, and according to inflation, population growth or population decline, all that, we tell you what your percentage up or down is, and if you can't meet it, you can take it up with the voting population. I do not understand. We exercise hours upon hours of wringing our hands over this.
But that drags it out. It's better for us, entertainment-wise, to do it that way.
Hey,
let's not rock that boat.
I would rather it be just like when you have a little cut on your arm, and the day comes to pull the Band-Aid off, just snatch that thing off and get it over with, you know. But Deborah, go ahead and explain the process to everybody.
Well, there's a series of hearings, and we're just about to the end of them at this point. And of course, we have both been following them over the years. You've been following them, I think, and interjecting some suggestions, helpful suggestions, since about 2002.
Yeah, I try to, ladies and gentlemen, and one of the in the first day of budget hearings entails the constitutional officers. Those are the ones that you elect. The clerk of courts, the property appraiser, the tax collector, the supervisor of elections, and the sheriff.
And they go in and say, here's how much money I need
right
for the rest of the year.
And and just for the record, the clerk this year has her budget is Mary Johnson's budget is 11.2% less than it was last year. The property appraiser is 3.6% less. His is actually about in the neighborhood of 9.2% less by some changes he made. The tax collector has reduced his budget by 5%. Supervisor of elections, Ann Bodenstein, has always done a marvelous job. This year's budget, now she's showing a big decrease this year, yes. 35.5%. With the caveat that there is going to be, more than likely, some state mandated new voting machines.
Yes.
We are going to take a stab at asking the legislature not to push that in. The touchscreen touch screens that we use for any of our disabled folks that use them, according to Ms. Bodenstein, there's never been a complaint. Everybody's happy with it, and I'm with her. I really don't see a need to change it, but she did say that, look, we may be faced in next year's budget with having to come up with some additional funds. And then, of course, the sheriff's budget. Right now, he is showing a 3.4% decrease. He was asked to bring a 5% decrease to the table. Now, I'll tell you that through all these budget hearings and through the years, I've really not had any major heartburn with the majority of these constitutional officers, but with the exception of one. And in the sheriff's office, I saw a trend developing early on in 2002. You have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that Sheriff Hall, in his campaign speeches at 32 places, because I was at all 32 places, as he campaigned to you, the people, he said that Jerry Brown's budget was too big, at $15,015,500. And when I become your sheriff, I'm going to take care of that. And immediately upon being elected, that budget had was seeing sizable increases. We went from 15 to 18 or 19 pretty quick. We were at 21 or 22. I went before the Board of County Commissioners in 2002 and I said, look guys, there is a finite amount of money that comes into the county every year. We can't print money. It's all based on property tax revenue. And if one organization under your umbrella, if their piece of the pie keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, then that means less and less and less for other services that a lot of people look for, like taking care of my road and my drainage and all that kind of stuff. And
the budget, we should say the budget this year was $30 million. Was
$30 million. To give you a quick history, the sheriff's budget had escalated all the way to $34 million, and Sheriff Hall had actually asked for more than that. And the commission finally started bucking that trend a little bit in '07, and brought it back to 32, and we've had I guess 3 years now where it's been about $30 million a year.
Of course, '07 was the year that the legislature clamped down on them,
right,
and capped how much they
right,
could jack the millage rate, property tax rate up every year.
Now let me say this, because I want to look into the camera and to the law enforcement officers that do this work day in and day out. It's not about looking the other way for and not wanting to give you a raise. It is about there's only so much money out there, and there has, what I have seen is there has been a rush to increase the numbers in the sheriff's department of employees, rather than the quality of pay and benefits for those who are currently working in the sheriff's department. And we're just all going to have to understand and be gentlemen about it, that there's only so much money coming in. It's going to be a little less, and I'll tell you right now, and I told several deputies in '04 that you can either increase your numbers as far as employees and never get a raise, or you can hold your numbers down and be paid reasonable, if not maybe above average. And